Hello, good evening. Welcome to episode 18 of the Wulong Tools podcast. My name's Jason, and this evening we've been joined by a very, very special guest. We will introduce you to her shortly, but first of all, Alvin, say what's up, man. You're in the place.
Evening, peeps.
Okay, and we're missing the rustling kid, unfortunately, which is why the line is so quiet today.
He's rustling sheep.
Yeah, he's out rustling whatever it is he does. So unfortunately, no Rich with us. But as I said, we do have a very, very special guest with us, and I'm really pleased that we've been able to get her on for this podcast tonight. So, special guest, say hello and let everybody know your name.
Hello, I'm Louisa, otherwise known as AfroCosplay. I'm very excited to be here with these two amazing guys.
Lovely. Thank you. Well, guys, the whole point of us getting together today really was to kind of talk a little bit about cosplay, because it's something that has really kind of exploded in the last sort of decade, really, in the UK. It's become hugely popular. I mean, I know it's something I've always been aware of in Japan for many years, and I think that's kind of where the culture sort of originates from and comes from. But as I said, it's become hugely popular over here. So yeah, the whole idea, listeners, is to try and give you an idea of what the average cosplayer does and how they enjoy the experience of doing it, and maybe inspire a few of you to get involved in it. So let's get started. Louisa, tell us what it is that sort of inspired you to get started with cosplay. Was there any particular thing that ticked you off into doing it?
I started cosplaying about 3 years ago, and the reason why was because I went to a comic convention. I went to MCM, the big one at the Excel, and I saw these people just looking amazing, and I just thought, I like, considering that I'm 28 now, I hadn't ever considered it, like the whole time that I've been like into geek culture and all this other stuff. That's the only thing that I haven't really like got into. And I just thought I might try my hand at it, see how it goes. So the next one that we went to, we did try and dress up. It was the most basic costume, most basic costume ever, and it's really embarrassing to look back on it now, but it's really fun. And I think it's one of those things, like once you start, you get the confidence, then you get hooked, and then you just keep going. And that's been about 3 years now.
Oh, nice. So it's been 3 years that you've actually been doing this. That's amazing, really, when you think about it.
It is quite a long time. There are some people who've been doing it for 10, 15 years, but I've still got a lot to learn, but not thinking of quitting anytime soon. I still really enjoy it. It's a really good hobby to have.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things, I guess, that's ever evolving, isn't it? Because the different kind of inspirations for it are changing all the time.
Well,
it's
yeah,
kind of thing that never.
There's so many superhero movies and things. There's like so much inspiration out at the moment in terms of like geek culture and pop culture and everything. So when you go to a Comic-Con and you see a cosplayer, there's more than 90% chance you're going to find someone from your favorite show or your favorite film or whatever. So it's good because there's like a wide like selection of cosplayers and what they do.
Yeah, very true. Alf, want to take the next one?
Yeah, sure. So what's the first character you ever cosplayed as?
I cosplayed as Starfire from Teen Titans, and it was nice. And it was because I had a red wig and I was on a budget, and I thought, well, let me see what I can do with, and I got this purple dress from Amazon and just like basically just cut it up into her costume.
Was it the animated Teen Titans Starfire?
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, the animated one. Yeah. So I went as like a little group with my boyfriend and a couple of friends, and it was really fun. And it was like, as I say, like I look back on it now and I think, God, there's some bits that were stapled, there's some bits that were like glued on. It's just kind of like, it was a big mess, but at the time I thought it was great, and she's a great character, and yeah, I just always envisioned that she'd be my first cosplay anyway. So yeah, it was good. It was good fun.
Yeah, that makes sense. It really does. So what are the kind of like the practical challenges then of getting involved in cosplay?
You have to learn a lot. Like I'm not the most arty person. ever. Like, I'll never kind of say that I'm good at drawing or crafting or anything like that. I've had to learn quite a lot in terms of like sewing, like just like using certain things, like foam, warbler, like all these like different kind of like things that you didn't even know existed until you start to cosplay and learning how they work. And there's been so many times that I've made mistakes or ruined things in my house trying to make cosplays, like but it's all fun, it's all a learning curve, and it's probably the only artistic hobby that I've ever had. And I think that's a big like practical problem, but some people, they prefer to just buy their costumes, which is fine. It's it's probably a hell of a lot easier, but probably a lot more expensive too, so I don't really have that option right now.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I mean, how much does it cost on average? Is there like a set amount that you spend, or does it depend on who you're doing?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on who it is. If it's somebody that's got like, I mean, I haven't ever done like a big build yet. I am kind of like hoping to do some over the next couple of years. But mostly I'd say around £100 is my budget. I try to stay underneath that. I've bought a pre-made costume before and it cost me well over that from Etsy because it was handmade. So yeah, it's kind of, I'd say between the region of £100 and £200, but that's just me. I'm sure there's people that spend a hell of a lot more if they can, and I would if I could.
So what has been your best experience with cosplay?
My best experience with cosplay is pretty much every single summer when I go to MCM, because it's nice weather normally. Like, everyone's really friendly. I always meet loads of new people, and I think that the last one I'd finally become confident to go up to people and say hi. People, like, I see people on social media all the time. It's such a big community, but I never had the guts to go up and speak to them before. And the last one that I went to was great because I was talking to people that are coming up to me, and just felt like a big kind of like social like gathering. And I haven't ever really had that with any other hobby that I've had. So I think that is an ongoing perk of cosplay, is that you're always meeting new people.
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, myself and Richard, we did our first ever. I mean, if you got into cosplay late, we got into cosplay late.
When did you?
So our first time doing it was last year at MCM in October. And we got into like a group through somebody who we know. She actually owns like a comic book store, and she's been cosplaying for I think the best part of like 5 years now.
Wow. Okay.
And she's got like a whole network of people that she knows who cosplay, and they usually go together and have these big collective, kind of experiences and events. And she invited us to one last year, and when we first kind of arrived, we didn't know anybody there apart from her. It was just sort of me and him and like 25 other people. But by the end of the day, it was like we'd known each other for years. And
it's so cool that you get so much more comfortable.
Yeah, it was really, really cool. It was really, really comfortable. And
who was your cosplay, by the way? Who did you guys cosplay?
Well, our theme was the Avengers, and it was the hipster Avengers.
Oh, cool.
So you had to do the Avengers, but a hipster interpretation of them. So I did Luke Cage, and Richard did Black Panther.
Cool.
So basically, it was just an excuse for us to dress up in our normal clothes, but add a few little additions here and there. So. But we're doing it again this year in May. So
cool.
This year it's apocalyptic Avengers. So I've actually got to try and put some thought into it now. So that's why I'm going to be picking your brain about what I'm like, oh damn, I'm actually going to have to like
you have to make some effort now.
And, stitch things on and things. Oh dear, yeah, it's a bit much.
It sounds good though. It's a good idea.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot of fun, as said. So it's definitely something that I think lots of people should give a go at least once, man.
Yeah, definitely.
With the way things have grown, as you've said, with geek culture and all of that. So
yeah, exactly.
It makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
We had an audience question come in, which is from Dion, and he wanted to know. Firstly, he was asking, how do you deal with the geek stigma? I think what he means by that is because of the kind of negative connotations there can be, and the kind of negative attitudes there can be around geek culture as it is, and people who enjoy that. How do you deal with that within your social circles? And that leads to another question, which was really, have you had any negative experiences during your time cosplaying so far?
I've had negative experiences, yeah. Unfortunately, mostly to do with racism. I've had a lot of horrible comments on my Instagram, Facebook. It's always a knock. It's always something that you think, oh, should I even be like, is it even worth it? Because it really does get to you. And I've learned to not read comments. If something is shared on a big page, I just don't read it anymore, because I'd obsess about it and get upset. And that's something that you can't change. You can't change the way that other people are. So I just try to ignore it as much as possible. As far as the geek stigma goes, I haven't ever really had too much of a problem with people from the outside. I'm not I say from the outside, but from like that aren't into geek culture. It's more people that are within it. So you get guys who think that because you're a girl you won't be into gaming, or because you're a girl you don't know who this is. Do you know what I mean? And it's kind of it's changed a lot over the past, say, 5-10 years, but that's something that I dealt with just growing up in general. There's a lot of people just thinking that I was just doing it for boys' attention, which has never ever been true. But I think I think the best way to deal with anything in terms of someone who won't understand your hobby or anything, it's just to like, if it's a friend, just to ask them why, disconnect yourself from that person. If someone wants to be really negative about what you like, then they aren't your friend, pretty much. And those who you don't know, their opinion doesn't matter anyway. So
exactly. I do
Yeah.
that 100%.
Yeah.
If they weren't your friend to begin with, then you've got nothing to worry about, really.
I've had people be a bit snooty. Like, I've had friends be a bit snooty about me playing games, or me going to see films that that they think are childish, but I just shrug it off. It's what makes me happy at the end of the day, so why not?
It's mad to me that people still do that. You know what I mean?
I know.
Whether you read comics, play video games, there's always someone out there who's like, "Oh, you do that?" It's like, yeah, I've not got BO. I just freaking enjoy entertainment. It's so weird. Really frustrating.
I think there's this whole sort of like preconceived image of this guy, like this, like overweight guy in a basement.
The basement dweller.
Yeah, exactly, and that isn't.
But it's like we're a broad spectrum of people, like races, shapes, sizes, heights. It's like everyone, and I don't think people get that at all.
No,
they don't, and it's I hope it changes. I hope that the fact that there's more cosplay now, it's more mainstream, the fact that there's so many superhero films, as I say, I hope that people are starting to get more open-minded about that sort of thing.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'm certainly old enough to remember a time when those kind of things were looked upon, like you would look down on, really, when you do that. And even now, still, when I read I read my comics or my graphic novel on the train, I funny look sometimes, like
I've experienced that too.
Like you're dressed for work, but you're reading a comic.
Like, how dare you?
It's just baffled, they're just completely baffled. But it is what it is. It's one of those things. And as you rightly said, it will change as the culture keeps growing, and as you get more superhero movies, and as it becomes more pop culture and mainstream culture, that kind of thing will change. So
exactly. Well, that's what I'm hoping anyway. I hope so.
Yeah. So.
Have you ever been abroad to cosplay?
No, I wish. I would love to. I'm studying at the moment. I'm working. It's a big commitment. My dream would be to go to New York Comic Con. Like, I would love to go to New York Comic Con at some point in my life. Because it just looks amazing. And San Diego Comic Con as well. They both just look incredible. So someday, but no, not right now.
Yeah. We've been trying to go. I mean, but Alvin is going to Star Wars Celebration
next month.
Cool.
Yeah, next month.
I can't fucking wait.
Lucky bastard.
My Esther confirmed as well. My Esther got confirmed over the weekend, so yeah, definitely go.
Yeah, lucky kid. We've been trying. I mean, myself and Richard have been trying to get to San Diego Comic Con for years, and we can't get
Yeah.
around to doing it. New York Comic Con, I think, we might be able to do this year. It just seems a bit more easier to get in there. But
Yeah.
San Diego, it's the process is so long. It's just like, oh my god, to actually get a ticket is
Oh,
really
really?
difficult.
I
Yeah,
didn't
it's really
realize it was so
difficult.
complicated.
Because
It might
obviously,
be easy for you just to become famous and then be at a panel and then experience the rest of the con, rather than
yeah,
actually trying to get tickets, which are impossible.
Yeah.
yeah, it's really
Oh,
hard.
goodness.
Because obviously there's such a demand to go there. What they do
Yeah.
is they make you sign up for like a lottery, and then
Oh.
they will give you a specific number, and if your number gets picked out, you've got like a 20-minute window to go onto the website and buy tickets.
Oh, that's
Is that how
And
to
ridiculous.
if
do
you
it?
miss your, yeah, if you miss your window, that's it. You don't you don't get no.
Oh
That is
man.
ridiculous. I've never had anything like that for a con before. That's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. I mean, as I said, it kind of shows like just how stupidly
How
busy
big it is.
it
Yeah.
is and how big it is. But at the same time, yeah, it's kind of cray. But yeah,
It's nuts. Yeah.
one day we'll
One
get
day,
there.
exactly. That's what I keep saying too.
Mm. So, are there any other cosplayers out there that kind of inspire you and that you look up to?
Yeah. There was for Black History Month, there was the whole like 28 days of Black cosplay thing.
Mm.
And I found so many like great ones through there. But the big ones like people like K Bear and Mackie Roll, they've been doing it for years and years and years, and they're the reason why I felt like I could do it. Because it's very rare to see like so many strong people of a certain race within the geek culture, especially. And like I just feel like with these two especially, they've broken it down for us. They've broken down the boundaries, and now it's not so strange to see a black girl in cosplay. It's not as strange as it once was, but it's still quite a long way to go in terms of being accepted. But they're like 1 and 2, I think.
I think one of the pleasing things for me going back to sort of black cosplayers and stuff, one of the pleasing things for me and for Richard has said, since we started going to cons, I mean, our first one was back in 2008, I think it was the first one we went to. And
cool.
What's been pleasing to see has been the diversity that's growing within the people actually attending cons, just coming out of their home and attending them. It's when we started in 2008, it literally it was spot the black person. Like,
Classic game.
Classic game. You'd be walking and then you'd be like, wait, is that another? Yeah, it is.
That's one. Let me see if I can find another.
You're like, hey.
We'd be on the other side of this this room, waving at each other like, yeah. But yeah, it's been really pleasing. I mean, the last one we went to, I said, in October was literally just like a cross section, as Alvin said, a cross section of society in general. It was just every kind of person you could think of was there, was represented in some way, and not just in visitors, but in the cosplay as well. It was so good to see so many different types of people cosplaying. And cosplaying various different things as well. It wasn't just 1,000,001 Harley Quinns. It was, there were so many original ideas.
It was really good, actually. That was the first event for the whole weekend, and I did, and I like I must admit, the cosplay was just amazing that at that con. Yeah, definitely. And it's so inspiring to see more types of people and just coming together and enjoying what they enjoy without feeling like they're going to be harassed or bullied or anything like that. It's great, and I really do hope that as time goes on, it just becomes more and more and more diverse.
Yeah, I said, well, touch wood. Hopefully, that's the path this seems to be
the way
going
that things are going. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully that will come. Alva, did you want to get the next one?
Yeah. What cosplays would you like to do in the future?
Ganondorf is my big one from Legend of Zelda. He has like the biggest mark ever. So I'm just learning to make small bits with craft foam and warbler right now, and then I'm gonna just, I would say, I'm gonna say October next year, and just hope that it does come through by then. But that's my dream cosplay, is to do him, to do Ganondorf. I'm gonna cosplay Garnet from Steven Universe this year.
For real?
Yeah.
You're gonna have the fists and everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's someone who I've wanted to cosplay for years and just haven't ever got around to it. So that's another one that, you know, is going to become real soon. But besides that, no, I don't really have. I mean, it's kind of one of those things like what you were saying, where you watch a film or you watch a TV show and you think, oh, that would be a good cosplay to do. So I don't really have anything set in stone. But yeah, I just know that I'm doing Garnet because I started it already. So I can't not do it.
Yeah, that Garnet's going to be wicked, man. Like that character's just kind of blown up, man. And I love it because I stumbled onto Steven Universe. I think it was about a year ago. Somebody in America told me, like, oh, you gotta watch Steven Universe, gotta watch Steven Universe. And at the time, I don't even think it was available in the UK at the time. So they actually managed to hook me up with a way to watch it. And I started watching it and I was like, damn, this show's so good, man.
Yeah. It's got so huge as well. It's so
it's just
big.
blown up.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is amazing though. It is a great show.
It very much is like it's kind of got like the visual aesthetic of like a Dexter's Lab or a Powerpuff Girls or something like that. But
all the classics.
Yeah, that kind of sort of classic 90s era kind of Cartoon Network stuff that was out around that time. But with a lot of humor and a lot of heart as well, and you know, just really good storytelling. I love it.
It's just so clever. It's just so clever. Yeah, it's really, really good. I love it.
Wicked. All right, and we've got Richard sent a question in. So obviously Russell Howard's boring him. So so Richard added, what would be your ideal cosplay team to do? I think what he means is like a collective. So like, is there kind of a collective cosplay concept you'd like to be a part of?
I always wanted to do the Sailor Scouts from Sailor Moon, but I never found enough people to do it with. So that would be a big one for me. Sailor Scouts or the Avengers, actually. So I know that like you guys are doing it. I've got a Black Panther like cosplay that I haven't worn out yet. I'm going to wear it in May, but I don't really have. As I say, I haven't got a big group of people, so that would be a dream to have like all of the Avengers with me. But that's probably reaching a bit far.
Well, you never know. I mean, the amount of people who turn up at these things and
that's true,
and probably just connect on the day and are like, hey, you know what? Let's just.
But you know how it's so busy. You can't ever be like, oh, you just wait here while I get this other person for a photo because everyone just disappears all over the place.
Yeah, that
Fingers
is very
crossed
true.
It'll come together.
Okay, and last question is, if there's anything that you could change about the way cosplay is done in general, what would you change?
I think just what I mentioned before about the whole diversity thing. I would like for the whole cosplay community to be open-minded. I know that the majority of people, and I'm saying like, you know, I think there's probably about 5% of like cosplayers who aren't this way, because like quite a lot of them are really open-minded and friendly, but there's the odd person or the odd people who it can be quite toxic.
What does that 5% kind of tend to say? Is it that you shouldn't cosplay as this character because he's skin color?
People that come on the page and they say, you know, like they're like cosplay fans, but then they say, oh, you know, you shouldn't be cosplaying so and so because of your skin, or your hair's wrong, or your costume's wrong, or this is wrong. And I feel like it's
fuck those people.
Yeah, basically.
Literally fuck those people. It's just
an expression, like, you know, and it's always an interpretation of the character. So, you know, you don't have thousands and thousands of pounds to spend on a costume. Like sometimes it's not going to be perfect, but you work hard on it. You want people to be, you know, like you've like worked hard for months and someone, you know, slates because your hair's slightly wrong or something like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's
what I thought it was that the whole point was for you not only to dress up as a character, but also embody as to what the character is in that one photo that someone's taken. You know what I mean? And for you to kind of like just be the character in that moment, in the second that the photo's taken. That's the whole point. If you do that, then like there's no failure anywhere, and nobody can
No.
say anything really.
But you just got to have these nitpicky people, though. They're just everywhere.
Yeah,
The ones that just have to find something wrong.
It's remarkable, isn't it? I mean, these people often act as if they've paid you for
Yeah.
kind of, you know, privilege or service, and so
Yeah.
therefore they're entitled to give you their opinion. It's like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
No,
You didn't even ask for their opinion, so
I
why not
didn't
even
ask
talking
you
anyway?
for it. So why
No.
you know, what has made you feel that you have a right to pass judgment on what I'm doing? Like,
It is something that really does bug me every day. Like I'll see it on, you know, like a friend's cosplay page, or my cosplay page, or just online in general. And I just think, why did you go out of your way to put someone down? Like, why would you spend your time putting people down? And that's the only thing that I've changed about the cosplay community, is just more acceptance and less of this sort of like snooty kind of attitude. Seems to be, you know, just seems to come up every now and then.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's just, I mean, cosplay is no different to the world that we live in, and you know, you get those kind of people in life as well. So I suppose we're going to bump into them in cosplay too. It's just,
I was going to say, it happens in every single like community that you have, like every single hobby that you have. There's going to be some people that are like that, but it would be nice to have a nice unified cosplay community. You can dream.
Yeah, we keep striving forward. That's all we can do.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Louisa, for answering those questions.
That's
hopefully,
okay.
listeners, that's given you an idea of kind of the basics of cosplay, and also told you a bit about Louisa as well. I know you got to rush off, Louisa. So one more question before you go. I know you are a game fan. Tell us what your favorite game is, and is there anything that you're playing at the moment that you'd recommend?
My favorite game of all time is Earthbound, and I'm playing at the moment The Phantom Hourglass, which is an older game for the DS that's quite old.
Yeah, I've got that. Yeah, I didn't get all the way through it for some reason though.
Yeah, I don't sound excited about it because I'm not really enjoying it that much.
No, that's the one where, like, are you in the bit where you've got the dungeons and you've got to solve those puzzles in a certain amount of time to get up to the top of that tower? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's really stylus heavy. You have to always use the stylus on the DS. So that's kind of bugging me a bit. But I've just got this big pile of games that I have to get through. Yes, I'm just trying to work through them one by one. So that's what I'm playing at the moment. But I'm hoping to get a Switch soon. So
really,
okay.
Even with all the hardware issues that are apparently happening and the dead pixels on the screen.
I'm gonna wait a few months for them to have a good batch come out, but I have to play the new Zelda, so we'll see.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, it does, like, we did a podcast about the Switch, and we were kind of mixed on it in the sense that, you know, on the one hand, it's you know, it's Nintendo, and there's always feelings of nostalgia, and there's always, you know, good times that every one of us can remember with a Nintendo console and with Nintendo games. But at the same time, we're a bit like, I'm not too sure about this whole concept of, you know, taking the sort of tablet part out. And
I don't really get that whole thing. Like, I'm more excited for the games and the actual console itself. Like, I've seen some of the games that are coming out this year, like Super Mario and stuff, and I think, oh, that looks really good. But the actual concept of the console itself, I'm still not sure about. Haven't been with any of their consoles over the past few years, to be honest with you, because the Wii U I didn't think was particularly good. Like, I have one, but like I have one, but I still don't see the point of the gamepad sort of thing. It's kind of I don't know. They're like always trying and testing new things, so just have to let them do what they do.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I played Star Fox Zero on the Wii U, and it felt like trying to play it with a dinner plate as a controller.
That is like, weird. That I've heard so many complaints about that game. It's apparently the most clunky controls ever.
Yeah, it's dreadful.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Okay, that's fine. I'm not gonna play it then.
It's so disappointing when the game, you know, when God, I've forgotten the character's name now. When he says, "Do a barrel roll." Peppy, and you can't do it because the controller's just not and you're like, what the I want to do a barrel roll. Why can't I just do a barrel roll?
It's just things like that. It could be so easily avoided as well. It's just like, why didn't you take the time to sort the controls out properly? But
that cash money, innit?
Yeah, that's it. That is it. Just force it out and just wait for the money to come in.
Yep, exactly. Well, Louisa, thank you so much for taking the time out, as I said, to
That's
speak
okay.
with us this evening.
Thanks for having me.
It's been great, and yeah, we'd love to have you on again another time if you want to
Yeah.
come back. Anytime you want
Yeah,
to come back, you're
fantastic.
welcome to do so, man.
Okay,
Thanks a lot.
cool. All right, well, thank you so much, guys.
You're welcome.
No
Before
worries.
you go, would you mind just letting people know where they can find you if they want to get in touch, if they want to find out more about you?
Yeah, you can go to my Facebook page, which is AfroCosplay, or my Twitter, which is Afro_cosplay.
Wicked.
Okay.
Lovely.
All right, then.
Louisa, thanks a lot again.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, listeners, thanks. I hope you enjoyed that. I really did. It was really quite illuminating, kind of hearing a bit about how she got into cosplay and what kind of drives her to do the things that she does. And yeah, I said, if you enjoyed what she had to say, let us know. We'd definitely like to have her back at some point, because she's just super cool and a lot of fun. So yeah, let us know what you think. Okay, Alf, shall we run through some stuff that we did this week? Yeah,
let's go for it. Yeah.
Cool. Well, first of all, I should probably mention that we went. I don't know if you saw this, Alf, but we went to go and see The Art of the Brick.
Yeah, it looked wicked.
DC
I was so
superhero.
jealous.
Yeah. So, listeners, it's an exhibition that's actually on at the South Bank at the moment. And it's by an artist called Nathan Sawaya, who does sculptures with Lego, and he's actually put together an exhibition surrounding DC superheroes and the characters that kind of inspired him growing up as a kid and collecting comics as a kid. The actual exhibition is just fantastic. It's so good. I mean, it's not only is it excellent for comic book fans and for DC comic book fans, but it's just great for fans of art in general, because his interpretations of those characters are actually very unique. It's not just simply a bunch of sculptures of Superman, Spider-Man, and Superman, Batman, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and so on. He's actually kind of put some force into different kind of conceptual things that he can do with those characters, and also what those characters represent to him and what they represent to different people that he's met throughout his life as well. So it's really, really good, really, really detailed. So I can't recommend that highly enough. So that's definitely something you should check out. I said it's on the South Bank. And if you go to, I think it's theartofthebrick.com, you should be able to find out some more information about it. So if you're based in London and listening to this, definitely go and check it out. It's on until September, so you've got time, but I definitely recommend it. Alv, you went to go and see Kong Skull Island tonight, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. So yeah, Kong Skull Island, man, doesn't mess about. Like, literally, it goes right in. None of this fucking, oh, let's hide the monster for bloody half the movie. Let's hide all the fights. Let's not show any of the fights until the very final act or anything like that. Straight, you get to see, like, it's not a spoiler. You get to see Kong, like, pretty much straight off the bat. You know what I mean? And then you don't see him for a little while. But this is a nice, quick movie. It's only 2 hours. And, it sets up all the characters really quickly. You know who everyone is. You know the certain kind of archetypes that there are for these kind of films. And yeah, it just goes right in there. Kong fucks shit up like throughout the whole movie. He's just this big ass muscly gorilla just fucking up everything. And the put together is really good, because kind of obviously they're going to go into other kind of monster movies from this. This is them kind of rebooting, kind of like, well, I suppose it's not a reboot, but this is that idea that they had, that they were going to do a monster film universe, and this is the beginnings of that, and it's a really strong beginning. It's very enjoyable. There's some things in there that I thought were a bit brutal for a 12A/PG-13, but it is kind of like, imagine like Predator, but you've got a massive gorilla in it and other creatures. It's like, I'd say the film's kind of like Our Fear of Nature, but it's like fully realized. So like everything is much bigger and much scarier, and we understand it less, and it scares us because it's so foreign looking. it's nature untamed. That's what this film is, and everyone in it is really good as well, especially Samuel L. Jackson. He's really good in it also. But yeah, I'd definitely recommend seeing it. I'd recommend probably seeing it like at a busier screening, just because it's just kind of like, well, you'd all react to the same things and the same jokes and the same kind of shit that happens. But yeah, it's a very good watch, and it's kind of like Jurassic World in a way, how like just cold stuff happens to people. And that's all I'm saying about cold stuff happens to people. But people will like it. It's a very good film. I can't believe it's only March and we've had some corkers in movies already.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to catching up with that because you know, I love a good monster movie myself. I really do. And you're right. I'm glad to hear that it's not gone down the Godzilla route of kind of teasing for most of the film. Because as much as I did enjoy that movie, that was a big negative for me. Was
totally.
They kept dragging it out.
Come on, man! Like the airport, it's literally about to kick off at the airport, and then it just cuts to like 8 hours later.
Yeah,
I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" I was pumped to see this fucking fight at the airport. It just went, "No, here's the aftermath." I was like, "Oh, fuck you," you know. But it's still like, "Oh, taking a minute."
Yeah, that was bad. So yeah, no, definitely down with that. So yeah, go check out Kong Skull Island, listeners. That's a good one. You also saw Logan as well, didn't you? I mean,
yes, I did.
Yeah. We need to actually have like a proper spoiler discussion on this. I haven't seen it, unfortunately, yet, listeners. So I'm going to see it. I will. I know it's amazing. Everybody's telling me it's amazing. So I'm gonna go and see it. But until then, Alvin's just gonna do a quick summary, and then we'll come back with a proper spoiler podcast and discussion afterwards. But Alf, sorry, go ahead, man.
So obviously it's fucking brilliant, yeah, but it's not an enjoyable movie because it's very everything's just a bit shit in that point in Logan's life. So like it's really kind of like it's really downbeat. But it makes sense for it to be that way for the story that they're telling, because it's kind of like a road movie in a way. Kind of like, imagine like an old school kind of 80s, just kind of action like road movie. It's kind of like that, but it's very good. And you know, Hugh Jackman's last performance as Wolverine, it's a very, very good one. And I'm glad that a film like this has made quite a lot of money, just because it means that we may get more kind of mature, kind of based like comic book related movies. I mean, obviously we had like Watchmen back in the day and that, but that's a big ass story. This Logan is about people.
Yeah.
It's about people, you know what I mean? It's like there's a handful of characters. There's not even that many characters in there, to be honest, in the whole movie. But it's about people and their relationships and how they relate to one another, and kind of what it is. What's the essence of Logan? You know what I mean? It really does assess as to who he really is, and yeah, it does have a fitting ending as well, which I think everyone will appreciate. Originally, I was told there was a post-credit scene, but there isn't. Well, I don't even know if this is in UK screenings yet, but by now you would have all seen the Deadpool 2 teaser. That's at the beginning in the States, but I don't know if that's here in the UK, but you can see it online.
I mean, I don't think they have actually bothered to release it.
It's got 20 million views on YouTube now anyway.
But like, yeah, exactly. It's like it made more sense to release it on YouTube anyway. So like, it's not like anybody's losing anything out there. But yeah, said listeners, we will do a Logan spoiler review coming very soon. And said as soon as myself and Richard can sit down and actually watch the movie, then we will do a spoiler review of that. So we will get through that. All right, man. Well, let's chat a little bit about some news that's popped up. It's typical, isn't it, that like we go through this period of not recording and not doing anything, and everything's quiet, and then all of a sudden, like just before when we're about to record, a whole heap of stuff just comes out. So always the way, sod's law, but there you go. Alv, you've probably seen it by now, and I'm sure you listeners may be aware of it as well, but Entertainment Weekly posted up a whole slew of images and concept art from Thor Ragnarok, including a really, really sweet picture at the on the cover of the magazine, which featured a new look for Thor. It showed Hela, a much closer look at Hela, and also Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie as well, looking fierce as hell. what did you make of the pictures, man?
You know what? It's like I just noticed there's so much color. I was just kind of like, yo, it looks for a film that's like obviously going to be like kind of Gladiator in space. There's loads of fucking. It's super bright. You know what I mean? It might look fine like when the film comes out, but it definitely looks like a departure from how the previous Thor movies looked. So it doesn't look garish. It doesn't look shit. But I was just like, whoa, there's a lot of color going on. It's not something I'm used to seeing from Thor. I mean, maybe they're taking a page out of Guardian of the Galaxy's book, you know what I mean? But I'm kind of fine with how it looks. I mean, I didn't think I'd miss his. I didn't even know he had short hair in the movie until I saw the picture. And I kind of want his long hair back. I don't know why, but I actually do want his long hair back. I think that's his signature thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, imagine if you had the Hulk without the green skin, you'd be like, well, why has he not got green skin? So I just looked at it, it's like, but the hair though. Well, I got used to the hair, but whatever.
Yeah, no, I hear you, man. Yeah, I think the color scheme, yeah, I mean, you're right, that does really stand out. I think what they may have done is maybe looked at like some of the work that Walt Simonson did with for during, because I think he was the first one to write like a Ragnarok based storyline for Marvel Comics. And he was about using loads of like color and in all the panels. So I think maybe that's what's kind of inspired the look of Thor Ragnarok the movie in a way. But also like Taika Waititi is a guy who's kind of out there anyway in terms of like his thinking and the way he does things. I mean, if you've seen Things We Do in the Shadows is an amazing movie. If you
He's in that movie,
it's God, you know,
not Hiddleston and Swinton, is it?
No. It's did you ever watch Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah. I'm a big Conchords fan. Yeah.
Okay. You know the guy with the glasses. I've forgotten his
Jermaine
name.
Clement.
Jermaine Clement. That's it.
Yeah.
He's in there along with a load of other New Zealand actors.
Okay.
And it's about it's like a mockumentary about vampires living in a house together and basically sharing a house together.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, it's really funny film. It's a lot of things. Like it's quite dark and scary at times, but it's also really funny at other times as well. And then there's Hunt for the Wilder People as well, which came out a little while ago as well, which I haven't seen yet, but it's been on my Netflix list for months, and I still haven't sat down and watched it. But that's supposed to be really good as well. But he has that kind of sort of quirky, like slightly offbeat style to all of his films. So it doesn't surprise me that he's kind of gone for something very quirky and offbeat in terms of the way that the characters look. And as I said, in terms of the use of color and things like that. So I'm expecting to see loads of weird alien creatures and things like that in this one as well. So yeah, it should be good, man. It should be very, very good. What else did we get? We got some casting news on the Inhumans as well. So as far as I'm aware, you could correct me if I'm wrong, Alvin. I think they've already cast Black Bolt, Medusa, and Karnak, right?
Yeah, Karnak and Maximus.
And Maximus has been cast as well, who is he's Ramsay, isn't
Ramsay, yeah, from Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones, right?
And I think there's another one as well. What's the guy with the legs, with like the hind legs? I keep on thinking he's called Trigon, but that's not his name.
No.
Gorgon.
No, it is Trigon, isn't it?
Nah, Trigon's I think his dad from
Triton.
Is it Triton?
Yeah, it's Triton. So I couldn't remember that. I'm sure it's Triton. Yeah, the guy who looks like a fish, basically. He's like Aquaman, basically. Yeah.
No, I think they've cast that and the other guy who can stamp shit.
Oh, bloody hell! Yeah, I know the one.
Yeah, he's called Gorgon. He's called
Gorgon. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think they cast him, and they've also cast Lockjaw as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Apparently, well, obviously it's a dog, but like, I thought Lockjaw was supposed to be like a big ass dog.
Well,
so are you going to CGI make it bigger?
They released some a couple of set photos. One which was Anson Mount, the guy playing Black Bolt in uniform, and another was a little tease of Lockjaw, and it looks like they've actually made a model Lockjaw that's apparently stands at about 6 foot tall.
Oh, wicked!
Yeah, so they've actually made one, and so I'm assuming it's going to be a mixture of kind of animatronics, motion capture, and
Yeah,
CGI
that's
to
be.
do that. I'm guessing. So yeah, that should be like that's just going to be wild, man. Seeing like Lockjaw on, on a TV screen is it's just nuts. So I'm really looking forward to that, man. I'm
Well, are
really
you not
keen
going
to
to
see
see
it.
it in IMAX the first like 2 episodes or whatever?
Yeah, definitely, because it's the first two episodes that come out in IMAX, isn't it? And
Yeah,
then it goes to TV from there, right?
yeah,
So
that's correct. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. I'll go and see it in IMAX because I think it's actually the kind of thing that can do well in IMAX. And I do wonder if this is going to be something that they're going to do a lot now with stuff. Because firstly, it was Game of Thrones did their series opener, didn't they, in IMAX? I believe was that the case?
No, I think what it is that they do. They show it at the same time now in the UK as they do in the US.
Right.
So it's on in early hours in the morning. But previously, what they used to do is like show the first episode at the same time as the US, and then the rest of the episodes were just like 24 hours later almost. Whereas now it's all at the same time. But I would love to see like the final episode of Game of Thrones on a fucking big screen. That would be fucking ace.
Well, when
I've
me
just
originally
looked at
went
that
to
Lockjaw.
Empire Live last year, we were hoping to try and get into a big screen of the Battle of the Bastards, but the tickets have
That
gone.
episode's so good.
Yeah, the tickets have gone by then, so we couldn't get in, unfortunately. But yeah, that would be amazing to watch in IMAX, definitely. But yeah, I do wonder if this is successful. Maybe this is something that um, other TV shows, other TV show runners, other studios might look at as a way of kind of drumming up interest in shows that they're working on and things like that. And especially if it's the type of show that has the scope to fit IMAX or to fit or just to fit a general cinema presentation, because TV shows are becoming more cinematic anyway in
Yeah.
the way that they're working. So yeah, I
What,
do wonder if this might be something that they do in the future.
what do you think of Black Bolt not having his mask on or his headgear?
I don't know. Is that like confirmed as something that they're definitely not doing for the show, or
It's
was it
not
just that
confirmed.
shot?
It's just that one shot he
Yeah,
just didn't have it, so everyone thinks he doesn't
because
have it.
I just kind of assumed that it was just that one shot. So whatever is going on in that scene,
Mm.
he's obviously not wearing the headgear in that scene. How I'd feel about it if they went the whole show without that, I don't know. It depends on kind of how they. I guess it depends on how they kind of tell the story. I mean, the comic book geek in me would be like, no, absolutely not. You
Yeah,
don't do that. You don't take his helmet off. But again, I guess it kind of depends on how they tell their story and where they go with it as to whether
mm.
it works or not. It may be one of those things that they tried it on camera and it just looked stupid and it was just like, nope, no, we can't do this. But I hope that's not the case. I hope that,
Yeah.
it said, that it's just that particular shot, whatever it is that's going on in that scene, it doesn't require him to have his helmet. So, we'll wait and see, I guess. Yeah. Oh, let's quickly talk about Aliens Covenant as well. So we've had two trailers now. We've had our initial Red Band teaser trailer, and then we've had an official trailer that came out. I think it was about 2 weeks ago now. And we also had the prologue clip that came out as well. Did you see the
Yes, I did. Yeah, I saw the prologue clip, and then after that, they released the actual trailer, didn't they? Because the prologue was like a few days before or something like that. So yeah, I saw them both. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the trailer. I really liked the full length trailer that they showed. I think I liked some of the world building and the idea that they're going to go back to the planet of the engineers and to find out a bit more about where the black goo comes from and what the black goo's role or part is in the creation of the xenomorphs and the neomorphs and things like that as well, because we got to look at a glimpse at a neomorph in the full length trailer. So yeah, I'm excited to kind of see all of that. But part of me is a bit like, because they haven't really released much about the narrative, I'm looking at the trailers and I'm like, are you literally just retreading Alien?
Yeah, I think that's what they're doing. It's back to basics. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, because I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about that, to be honest. If it's just a straight up like retread of that, but with more
But
characters.
that can't be
I
any.
don't know.
That's got to be more satisfying than Prometheus.
True. I wasn't a fan of previous listers. I really didn't get on with that film at all. And
The best bit was the abortions. Well, it's not an abortion. What's it? A C-section when she's
Yeah.
in pregnancy. That was the best bit of the film.
Yeah, that was good. But I mean, a lot of Prometheus I didn't like. I just felt they spent too much time getting caught up in the religion thing. And I mean, I don't know if you heard the apparently it was explained later on after the film came out that possibly the reason why the engineers or a faction of the engineers wanted to kill humans was because they created Jesus, and Jesus was like a pure engineer. And because we,
but how the fuck were we meant to get that from that film?
I don't know. That's the thing, because the film, I swear to God, I've seen the film a couple of times and I don't understand where it is in the film, unless I'm stupid and I've missed it. Where in that film do they actually state that this is the reason why? Or even, they don't even have to state it, but obviously, you know, suggest it and allude to it. But like, there's nowhere in Prometheus that does that. So I'm like,
well, it's just pointless information.
Yeah, you lot just like, you know, retroactively fiddling in the gaps that you know you left in the original screenplay and go, oh yeah, no, that meant that. And you know, no, come on, man. Don't buy that. So yeah, Alien Covenant definitely looks like a return to the kind of alien movie that we want to see. And we hope that's the case. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess, because as I said, I as much as I do want a return to form, I don't want it to just retread the same ground that Alien
This
did.
This is why I want to see Blomkamp's one, but I don't think that's going to get made anymore.
Well, no, he said himself that it's not going to happen, didn't he?
Oh, for fuck's sake! His idea looked so good though, and everyone was like, "Yes, we want this." And it's like, why Fox ignoring it? Like, don't fucking ignore that.
Yeah, well, it seems they're going in their own direction and they're following what Ridley Scott wants to do.
Oh man, God, I just want the option to see that. I you know what? I'd even take it in comic book form. I would. I'd even read it in comic book form and go, "Oh, we've done the script, but we can't release it as a film. We have to release it as a comic book." I'd even read that. I'd definitely read it. But Alien, man.
Well, who knows? I mean, that might be an option for going forward for the future. That's definitely a way in which you can get these kind of things to happen. If nobody will fund them for, you know, movies or TV shows, then, you know, there's always the option to put it out as a comic or a graphic novel, and people will pick it up then. So yeah, that's definitely something they can do. All right, man. Well, I think that is about it. Was there anything else you wanted to go over? Because I think we've covered everything.
Oh God, there's something that I think when we finish this, I'll probably go, "Oh, you know what? I wanted to mention something about that, but I can't think of what it might be." And I think it's news related, but no, I don't know. I have no idea. But I reckon I'm going to remember after this. But whatever, we'll just talk about next week if that's the case.
Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. Oh yeah. Tell me a bit about your battles with Ubisoft, man, because I know you've been getting pissed off at their online servers. Yeah.
So obviously been playing For Honor, and it's, you know what, it's I mean, but it's just like sometimes you just can't get onto the servers, and like you'll even like you'll start the matchmaking process, you'll get matched up with some people and that, cool, right? We're going into a battle. It was obviously loading up the level and all that, and it's peer to peer, so it's like hosting it on someone's computer essentially, and then you'll be waiting there for about 5 minutes, and then all of a sudden your screen will go blue, and then it's like connection lost, failed to matchmake and stuff like that, and it happens a fair bit. And you know, for a full price kind of AAA game, it's kind of shit that their matchmaking like is so crap. The matchmaking was so bad that they gave players who were affected by the matchmaking what they call like champion status or something like that, where you get extra loot. You normally have to buy that because that's what part of the microtransactions, but they gave it to everyone for free for 3 days. So, but yeah, if they just sort that out, it would be such a nice experience to play the game. But sometimes it's just hit and miss. But I enjoy the game. I enjoy playing Dominion probably the most, just because it's the easier of the modes. I'm not really going to get into one-on-one matches until I kind of like refine my skills Yeah, I've had a few and they've been good, and I've fucking schooled some clowns. But like, but literally, when you're in a one-on-one and you fucking win, I'm shouting at the TV. I'm like, fucking come on. That's fucking me. But nah, Fran is a cool game. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you're gonna get it on PC, I'd say. If you've got a PC, that is.
How's the combat system? Does it feel quite smooth or?
Oh, it's flawless. That's the most flawless bit of the game, you see. Because everything, like the campaign was okay. It was about 8 hours. Like I said, depending as to what mode you play in, multiplayer is all right when it's freaking working. But the controls is just, at first it takes a bit of getting used to. But it's the best sword controls I've seen in anything. So like your left thumbstick is for you to move around, obviously, like move around. Your trigger button is to lock on. And at first I was like, lock on? Fucking what do I want to lock on for? And then the right stick is your stance. But it's also block for when you need to block as well. So
right.
So if when someone's hitting your right hand side, there'll be a little thing that'll appear that'll notify you they're going for your right. So you just quickly flick the right stick to the right, and then it'll block. What's really good about that is if someone comes in for attack, you don't always have to block, though. You can like dodge by pressing A in a direction. I do a lot of dodging because it just enables you to kind of move out of the way, and then they can't block you because they're in the middle of doing their strike down or whatever. So you can just get a few quick clicks on the side and that. But it becomes all very intuitive and just it becomes a natural kind of thing in a process once you really get used to it. But that bit of it is flawless. Like I wish the game was like the campaign was better because you'd be able to do kind of the maps are kind of small in the campaign. That's the only problem. It's like when you're playing it, and also the AI in the game is fucking. It doesn't feel like you feel like you're playing against AI. You feel like you're playing against the bot. You don't feel like you're playing against the person because they're not like waiting for that moment to get it. They'll just chain moves together. It's like that shit. That's fucking crap. But I wish it was more like. Have you seen the Shadow of Mordor fucking video that they did?
Yes, I have. Yeah,
the one of the gameplay though. Did you see that one?
With the gameplay. Yeah, I saw the gameplay video.
If For Honor was like that, there would be fucking like if you had a massive battlefield and you had to do various different points of different things like on the battlefield and that, and like take over a freaking. That would be fucking wicked if that was For Honor. Like that would be awesome. I thought, oh man, if you could ban this and For Honor, that would be freaking excellent. But on the subject of that, Shadow of War looks great. Fucking looks brilliant, man. The Nemesis system and all that looks insane.
Nice.
That's down the line though. But yeah, that's my thoughts on For Honor. I know it's kind of long, wasn't it? I didn't want it to be that long.
That's all good. The people need to know, man. So give them information. Have a look.
I get too passionate.
Well, that's what we're about, man. That's what we're about. So it's all good. Okay, cool. All right, man. Well, let me go into our question of the week. Now, this is obviously the question of the fortnight because we didn't record
question of the fortnight
for the last 2 weeks. Sorry about that. It's just been a combination of illness and bad timing and all that kind of boring stuff. But anyway, as usual, if you've been following us on social media, you'll know that I've started putting out a question of the week. Which has been a lot of fun because we've been able to get lots of interaction with you, the listeners, and it's been really interesting to hear different sort of sides of things and hearing different people's point of view. Anyway, this week's question was a simple one, really. The question was, if you could take any food into the cinema with you, what would you take? Now, I have to clarify this because obviously some people were saying to me, well, I've got bags. I can just put food in my bag. It's like, yeah, no, but that's not the point. I mean, without you having to, hide things in a bag or hide them in your sleeves. If you could just walk into a cinema and before you went to go and see your movie, order whatever food you want and then go in and eat it, what would you order? So that was the whole point of the question. So we got a wide variety of answers here. So I'm going to run through this quickly. Alvin, though, what would you take though?
Yeah, you know what? Like, because I almost said hot dog, but you get hot dogs at the cinema anyway, so it's not even. No, I'm not even going to do that. But I'm conflicted between like a pizza or some form of burrito.
Well, pizza I could understand. I mean, there is there's a showcase cinema near me that actually does like mini pizzas. They're like these kind of 6-inch.
Yeah, but I'm talking like the big ass kind of
But
Domino's large.
It's different enough. You know what I mean? That's not enough. You want a proper. If you're going to take a pizza, you want a pizza.
Yeah, you want a whole fucking pizza, preferably deep fried.
Yeah, exactly.
But
With
no,
some
it'd either be a
deep-fried
pizza or some
mozzarella
kind
on
of
the
burrito. That's
side.
a hard question though, because to be honest, I think I'd quite like a chow mein in a cinema as well, like a chicken chow mein or sweet and sour chicken. So I don't know why I'm thinking Chinese food. Although there was one time when I went to see Wall-E back in the day, the Disney Pixar film, and there was an old Chinese couple a few seats down who did whip out their bag, chicken and that, and some other foods, and you could smell it. And I actually wanted a bit, to be honest. I wasn't even mad at him. I wasn't even mad. I was like the foot ahead. It was all in tinfoil and that.
No, I'd have been like, listen, you need to share, man. No, I'm gonna grass you up. Sorry, mate.
What have you got there? Well, you can have a bit.
Yeah, whipping some out.
Yeah,
there's hungry people in here, man.
But yeah, pizza. Yeah, no, I'm going burrito. I'll say burrito because, like, you know, Mexicans and that. So
cool.
And it's good.
Right.
Beef burrito. Yeah, beef burrito. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Well, let me go through some of the answers we got. So on Instagram, we got Glenn and her podcast said they take lasagna in. Ninja Trip, this comic book artist Ashley Woods, she said she would take either sushi or a burrito bowl plus drinks. So I was like, okay, like alcohol, you're going to take alcohol in there? She's like, yeah. And I was like, but you only going to get drunk? She's like, nope. So it's like, O Central said sushi. Lovefood.com said either roti, burrito, jollof rice with pepper stew, pounded yam with okra. I was like, wow, okay. Wow. Yeah. You're obviously not going to be watching much of the film because after that you're going to be asleep.
It's like 3 courses.
Yeah. Miss L, the Cocoa Brit, said curry goat, rice, and fried plantain. Just in Time podcast said a California burrito. Mr. Frivolous said fufu. Again, I don't know how.
Fufu, man. For real, how are you going to eat fufu and soup? Yeah. Come on now, you can't be eating that in a cinema. Come on.
Yeah, fufu again. Good luck to you, sir. Good luck to you. You're a trooper. Mr. O, I think Mr. O just kind of got carried away. It was like, yeah, he wants mac and cheese with barbecue chicken, cornbread, rice and peas, and a fried dumpling. Again, not sitting next to you in the cinema, mate, because you're either snoring or farting all over the place. On Facebook, James Spooner said a gallon of popcorn and a 12-hour-old hot dog, which is very specific.
But that's already what we get in cinema anyway.
Probably scarily accurate, though, to be fair, in terms of 12-hour hot dog. Roxanne said cheesy nachos. Fair enough. And David said he would have a double patty cheeseburger from Five Guys with a chocolate Oreo milkshake.
Don't say Five Guys, because it makes me want to get Five Guys, because Five Guys is so good. It's ridiculously good.
It is. It's very, very good. Let's see. Sharpie said she'd have a halloumi and lamb kofta wrap. Ade said he'd have a bowl of beef ramen or sizzling beef and hot wings. And Rich,
I love how everyone's getting sides as well. Everyone's doing a meal and sides. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Rich Kid said he'd do crispy duck pancakes.
Oh, with hoisin sauce?
Yeah, with hoisin sauce.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah, that was it. So as said, man, we got a veritable like kind of smorgasbord of food, really. For me, I said I'd take a roti in, which is like it's like a Caribbean wrap, basically, with like chicken, curry chicken, and it's got usually crushed chickpeas on the inside and things like that, potato as well. Because I was thinking it's quite filling, but at the same time, it's like a wrap, so I can eat it cleanly, you know. Whereas like with some of the other foods, it can become a bit of a mess when you're trying to eat that, you know.
I'm surprised no one's said a curry.
Yeah,
an Indian curry.
Actually, we didn't get anybody who wanted an Indian curry, which again makes sense, I guess, because like you eat that, and boy, you know, you're either going to be eating or farting the place up. So it's one out of the two, you know. So yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense to me. So thank you everyone for getting involved in the question of the week. Those of you that did, we will put another question of the week up on Monday on our social media. So if you want to know where our social media is, well, it's real easy to find, to be honest. If you head to Instagram, we are at Wulong_talks on Instagram. Sorry, no, I've read that wrong. I've read that. It's Woo_long_talks. So, like, I've had the Instagram for like nearly 2 years now, and I still can't remember the bloody handle. So, yeah, at Wulong Talks on Instagram is where we'll post up the next question of the week. So, get involved with that if you're an Instagram user. We also are up on Twitter as well, so you can always have a chat with me on Twitter about anything you fancy. I'm on Twitter again at Wulong Talks on Twitter, so that's easy enough to find. And if you type in Wulong Talks into Facebook, then you should find our Facebook page, and you can always leave us a like and share the page there. Now, the podcast, as you know, is also available on Stitcher and on iTunes. If you want to subscribe to the podcast, then you just need to go to the specific app for each of those. Click on the podcast and then click on subscribe. And don't forget to like us and to rate us and to leave a review as well, because it does help other people find us too if you do that. So if you can do that, that would be fantastic. Okay, I think that's about it for this week, really. We kind of covered all the ground we're going to cover, I think. Next week, we'll probably do a review of Logan, as said. So by then, we should have seen it. So we'll probably sit down and have a full spoiler discussion. For those of you who've already seen it, tune in for that, and we'll get into the nitty-gritty of that movie and what it means for the X-Men and the Fox X-Men universe and everything else. So we'll go through all of that too. Before we go, let me do a couple of quick shout outs as well. I need to say a big thank you to Richard himself, who unfortunately couldn't be with us today, as we said earlier on, but he did some really good work on the Instagram account this week, and he actually did a post for International Women's Day yesterday, which kind of encapsulated like what we love about International Women's Day and what we love about the women who contribute to the things that we enjoy. And we managed to get some love back from a couple of comic book artists. So we wanted to say a big thank you to Laura Braga and to Afua Richardson for interacting with us and for just giving us some love. And we feel really chuffed over it, really, to be honest, because we're such big fans of both of them and what they do. So it was really cool that they actually took time out to say something to us. So thank you for that. We really appreciate it. I also wanted to quickly shout out a business which is starting up from a friend of mine, which is called Charms and Chains. It's all handmade jewelry. It's brilliantly made as well. And she set up an Instagram account for that as well. The Instagram account is called Charms and Chains. And it's by my friend Sarah. Hi, Sarah. If you pop along to Charms and Chains and have a look, you'll be able to see some of the things that she's made there. She's just starting out, so there's only a few items that are available at the moment, but she's growing it very quickly. And as I said, there's a lot of unique designs and things that she's got planned to do with that. So make sure you give that a follow to see how that's developing. And also, if you're into GTA, Grand Theft Auto, and you're a Grand Theft Auto fan and you love the modding in Grand Theft Auto in particular, then another guy you want to follow is my friend Dion, who's got his own page on Instagram called DJ GTA Mackle. This page is designed for him to showcase some of the things that he can do with his modding equipment. So he's modded out quite a few cars at the moment, and he's set up a few different things within the game as well. So if you're into that and you enjoy that, make sure you give him a follow, and let him know as well if you've followed him from our podcast. Then let him know and tell him that Will on Talk sent you, and he'll sort something out for you there as well. Okay, Alf, is there anything new you're working on with Blue Milk this week? I mean, I know you've done a couple of posts. I haven't been able to share them so far, but
no, not really. I'm probably going to do one about recent casting for Han Solo, and thoughts on that, really. But that's about it. If you want to check that out, The Man Geek, and that'll take you to what's it on YouTube? Yeah, on Twitter at BigA85GL. And the same on Instagram as well. Yeah. So I always forget as to whether I get that right. Yeah. The same on Instagram as well, at Big A85GL.
Yeah, Instagram names are so hard to remember. I don't know why, but they just
Yeah,
are.
it's weird.
Yeah, it's just weird. But yeah, there you go. But yeah, the Star Wars casting. I mean, I saw the rumor about Michael K. Williams, aka Omar, because he'll always be Omar to me. That's the way it is.
Yeah.
But I saw that like coming up, so that's interesting. So I'm guessing you're gonna cover that as well. So yeah, if you're interested in listening to Alvin's opinions on that and finding out a bit more about that, then make sure you go and check him out on his page, as he said. All right, well, that's going to do it for us for this week. Thanks a lot for listening. It feels great to be back in the chair again and to be back doing this. So, as I said, we will be back next week with you, and we'll probably have a full-on Logan review next week as well. So, until then, it's good night from me. Alvin, say good night.
Good night, peeps.
Cool, and we'll catch you next week, guys. Take care of yourselves, and we'll
See you later.
Bye-bye.